before I listen to this, what is go? I don't even know how to react. Hey girl, hey sir, hey. Welcome to Tasha Reacts. Welcome to Tasha Reacts. Everybody's doing well, everybody's doing good in the hood. Hi, my name is Tasha. I do have another channel called Tachassociety where I do hair, beauty, everything beauty over there. And I do have another channel called Tasha Jean where I do story times. Check me out. Okay, I'm gonna leave my disclaimer. If the person comes up to me and say, hey girl, you don't have the right to be sharing my video, I will take it down because I don't care. I usually leave the person's information down in the description bar. If it's TikTok, I do leave their TikTok handle towards the end of the video. Alright, so let me check it out. Check it out.
Tell me your craziest story about intuition and how it ended up being true. I want to be freaked out. I want to hear these stories and be like, what?
Okay, but you asked for it. We're gonna go back 14 years ago. I had invited my friend over who was supposedly pregnant, just like I was. We were both 18 and I don't know, just everything seemed like normal. The whole reason that she had came to my house was because she wanted to give me baby shower gifts and she wasn't able to make it to my baby shower. What's the harm, right? Well, as the night goes on, everybody leaves my house and it's just me and her. At this point, I start to get all these weird feelings. Honestly, feelings that I can't even explain. She had this gift for me that she stated needed to be shown to me in the dark because it was some type of light that shined on the ceiling for my son. She told me to stand in the middle of my room, turn around.
What is it? First off, you're not coming to my house when nobody's here. Absolutely not. With my baby? Or my baby would have been gone. Like my baby wouldn't be there. I don't know you. You're not going to be in the house with my child without, I don't know you. Hey, let me listen.
Room, turn around and close my eyes as she tried to dig through this bag looking for the present. As that started to happen, I started to have these weird thoughts. It wasn't even just weird thoughts. It was almost like somebody was whispering, telling me what was going to happen before it even happened. So these thoughts or this voice that I was hearing was telling me like, Angelique, you're about to be stabbed. You're about to get hurt. Like it just kept going over and over and over again.
You know, if you don't believe there's a God and the Father and the heaven of the earth. It's crazy when a lot of people who tell me they don't believe in God. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in God. They don't believe there's a God. But whenever they're in a situation, they always get stories that shows that there's a God.
And over again. And at this point, I've never had this feeling before. I'm also a teenager. I don't understand what's even happening at this point. As much as I tried to ignore the feeling, I just couldn't. She told me to turn around, sit on my bed, and she got up behind me, put her hand on my shoulder, started to count to 3. She started saying 1, 2, and right when she started to say 3, it was like something told me, stand up. So I got up as fast as I could, ran, and turned the light on. There's a lot of in between, but long story short, she had 2 large butcher knives, a pair of scissors, disinfectant, and had one of everything to take my baby from my stomach. She was going to kill me, perform a C-section on my body to take my unborn child. She then set my house.
Can I ask a question? Where do you find these people? Like, yo. Where do you guys find these people? Like, and I told you that's why a lot of Caribbean people always tell people never to go on social media or even when you're pregnant, tell people you're pregnant. Because these people are crazy. Some people can't have babies and they will do everything in their power or they sell these kids.
My house on fire to burn my body with all the evidence. And Me and my son are literally alive and here today because of my intuition. If you're ever wondering if you should listen to it, I'm going to say yeah. Hi, my name is Angelique Robledo, and when I was 18 years old, a friend of mine came to my house and plotted to kill me, perform a C-section on my body to take my unborn child, and then she set my closet on fire to burn my body with all the evidence. It's a mouthful, I know. I have been asked to do an in-depth story time. I have done a few on my page throughout the last 4 years. Some of them have been removed, some of them people can't find. So we're just gonna go ahead and do it. Since TikTok is being banned, might as well do it for one last shebang on this app. Before I even get started and move any further than this, I'm gonna just show you guys a screenshot that this is the real story. This is my story. I am the only person that has gone through this specific story because I feel like people always come at me. Okay, so here's an article from People Magazine. Here are some more articles. This is the story, Arizona. All right, let's get moving. When I was in high school, I was introduced to this girl. Her name was Cassandra.
Hold on. Before I listen to this, what is I don't even know how to react. Okay.
I was pregnant at the time. There wasn't a lot of people that were pregnant with me or like that had babies. So my friend Hannah had actually met Cassandra first, and she wrote me, or I think she texted me or called me and was like, hey, like I met this girl. She's pregnant just like you are. She's new to our town. Would you guys like to like hang out, meet, you know, that kind of thing. I was extremely excited about this because I feel like I had lost a lot of friends due to just events in my life.
Yeah, especially when I always tell people when you have kids, that's when you're gonna notice who's there for you. You're gonna notice your baby shower is gonna be huge, your baby's first birthday party is gonna be huge, and slowly everybody's gonna start disappearing. Especially if you had kids young. I had my kids young, like I had my daughter at 20, but you know what I'm saying, I lost a lot of friends. A lot of friends. It's something about like when you have kids, I feel like God sometimes protects you and protects your kids from people. God takes certain people away from you. But when people hear you're pregnant, I feel like it's a kind of a sense of victory to some people, because some people see kids as you have a baby young, especially if you have a baby daddy, it's like you're a failure. I tell you, people only likes to be around you when they feel as if they could come up on you.
And then also just the fact that nobody was pregnant or understood what it was like to be pregnant at this age. We had met for lunch. We also went to the mall. And then later on that day, we even did baby registries together. I know, kind of weird, but I don't know how to explain it. Like I really did feel like this was going to be a really good friendship. Weeks had went by and we had stayed in contact through Facebook. I want to say text messaging and phone calls. We talked like every other day. In February, I was having my baby shower and I had invited her. I forgot the reasoning why she couldn't come, but she did tell me that she wasn't going to be able to make it, but that she wanted to stop by at some point to like drop off some gifts. Days went by after my baby shower and she reached out to me, and I remember her just asking for me to come to her house, that she really wanted to like make me food and make me some, I think she said she wanted to like bake me some cookies, and then also that she wanted to give me my gifts. I was 9 months pregnant at the time. I did not want to leave my house.
That's why she stayed around. She stayed around until the baby's fully big. This must be not something new that she done. Or maybe she was pregnant and she lost the baby. And she probably, because some women have kids to keep men. So, you know what I'm saying, some women do it like a guy will leave them and they feel as if the baby will keep them. That will never keep a man. Never. I never understood it. I had my kids because both my baby daddies was people I wanted to be with. These people I liked, I was with for a long time. Both of them. I had long-term relationships with both my exes. These are not just men that was like, oh yeah, just want to have a baby. No. And both my baby daddies wanted my kids. I didn't have no baby. First of all, I didn't want to keep neither one of them. Like, I wanted my freedom still. You know what I'm saying? I had my kids. It's like, oh yeah, I have a kid. But it's not because I'm having this baby because, oh, I want to keep both my baby daddies. No. No. I wanted my freedom. I enjoyed my freedom. But I'm just saying, my kids came. But some people feel as if like babies will make a man love me more. Some do. Sometimes a man will grow to love you because of the baby, or they will stay with you because of the baby, and then they grow to love you. That happens.
My house. So I had told her, no, I don't want to go anywhere, but you are more than welcome to come to my house. She agreed, and the next day is when she came to my house, which would be February 16th of 2011. Now, Cassandra came to my house and she was dropped off by her brother. That's what she told us. My brother actually answered the door, and he does remember seeing her getting out of like this van, he said, and he did see a male that was driving. We had literally hung out all day long from morning to night. My parents were there, my brothers were there, so nothing made me feel like uncomfortable. And to be quite honest, like the interaction between us, like there wasn't really anything uncomfortable that like was going on. We had watched 16 and Pregnant, Teen Mom. My mom had actually made us some leftover carne asada, beans and rice. Like if you really sat there and watched like what happened, it was pretty normal. Now, because we're asking for an in-depth story time, I am going to go into just a little more detail. There was a moment that I did ask my mom if she thought that Cassandra was weird. Now, the reason I had asked that was because I felt like at some point in time throughout us hanging out that she was like mirroring my life. I felt like every time that I said something happened to me, she was like, oh yeah, that happened to me too. And I just almost kind of got like annoyed with it. Then there was this moment that we were sitting on the couch, we were watching TV, and we were talking about like my baby shower gifts. And somehow, some way, a C-section got brought up. And I remember her asking, like me and her were talking about like what would happen if we went into labor. Like we live like almost like 45 minutes from a hospital. And then we brought up what would happen if you need a C-section. Like there is no hospital around. My mom had chimed in and was like, oh, I've had a C-section. Like the paramedics would just take care of you and they would get you to, the nearest hospital they can. Cassandra at that point had become like very, what's the word I'm looking for? Intrigued by this whole conversation. She had asked my mom like, well, where you had a C-section, where do they cut, how do they cut? And my mom was just like, oh, they cut right here. And she was like, no, where? So she actually stood up, pulled her shirt up and was like, where? She wanted my mom to show her exactly where her scar was. She then asked,
and honestly, me personally, I would even think, because some people are very intrigued with pregnancy. Like I told you, I was a person, when I got pregnant, baby, I just went with the flow. Both my pregnancies. I just went with it. Oh, how many months I am now? Oh, okay. Baby, I wasn't a person who looked into stuff, baby. And that's why maybe both my kids came out. Poop, poop, easy. I had easy babies. Okay? I didn't go through hours and hours of labor and pain. I was chilling. Like, I really was. I was chilling with both my kids. So I didn't, some people are really intrigued. There's people that will ask me crazy questions when they're pregnant. They're very into that. Like, oh, you got a C-section and what do they do? And they're very detailed. Because some people are very detailed people. So I would even think of it like the person was being weird. I would just think the person was really interested or they're scared. Because some people will watch like baby channels and stuff and it will freak them out. So they will ask a lot of questions.
Then asked what is the procedure, like what happens within the procedure. So my mom gives her like an explanation of it. She then asked my mom what would happen if the baby wasn't breathing. And my mom just told her like, if that were to happen, they would grab what we call a moco sucker, which is just like the little bulb, and they would just put it, and grab all the, everything out so that the baby can breathe. Cassandra has stated that she never had seen one of those before, which honestly is mind-boggling to me. She had asked if I got one for my baby shower, and I was like, yeah, I did. And then she asked if I would go behind the couch and go like dig through my gifts so that she could see it. And I was like, no. So I ended up like Googling it and showing her, and she was able to see what it looked like. But that, like hindsight 2020, was a little weird. Like that whole conversation seems normal within pregnant women, but I don't know. Throughout this whole day, she kept on asking me to leave the house. There were so many times that I remember her asking for me to go to the park. Oh, you should come to my house. Oh, we should go do this. And guys, I did not want to leave the house. I was big and pregnant and I just wasn't feeling good. So I kept shutting it down.
I'm surprised you have people. When I was pregnant, I didn't have friends. I didn't want to be with friends. I didn't want to hang out with friends. I wanted to be by myself. So I'm surprised you even have people over. I was like, all right, text me, call me, beat me. Like, I didn't like being around people during my pregnancy. And I'm very like a type of person who thinks of like not everyone should be around when you're pregnant too, because you don't know people's intentions. Sometimes people are low-key sleeping with your baby daddy and they hate you and they could give you food and poison you. Baby, that's where my mind go. I don't eat from people anyways, baby. No, I don't eat from people. So even if you brought me food, I'm like, girl, eat it. You eat it. I don't want it. No, thank you. And I tell people I don't eat from people. Why not, Tasha? You bugging. So if I cook, you won't eat? No. You cook for yourself. Why you need to cook for me? I know how to eat. I know how to cook. I don't want you to cook. That's okay. Why you want to cook for me? I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of weird sometimes.
Over and over again. There was even a point in time that I was just like completely done. Like she didn't do anything or say anything that literally made me done. I just did not want to hang out anymore. I was exhausted. I was tired. I was annoyed. There was so many different emotions I was going through. So I had like nonchalantly like started like yawning and trying to get her to like get the hint that I wanted her to go, or just that like maybe I wanted to take a nap. And then she had told me that she was kind of stuck at my house because she didn't have her key. Her sister wasn't going to be home until like later on that night. So then I realized, fuck, like I'm stuck with her. I'm just going to have to suck it up. As a teenager, that is horrible, but I did it. And also I'm just a really nice person. I really genuinely am a really, really nice person. So she stays, a few more hours go by, and my mom decides that she's now going to take my brothers to football practice. Now, my mom had asked if we wanted to go to football practice with her because Cassandra kept wanting to leave the house, go for a walk, go to the park. You know, she kept wanting to leave the premises basically. So my mom was like, hey guys, like, do you want to go to the park with us? You guys can do a couple laps. If you guys get tired, I'll bring you back home. At this point, the sun is already going down. It's not hot outside. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Like, do you want to go? Like, I start to ask Cassandra, and Cassandra's like, no, no, no. And I'm like, oh, why? Like, I thought that you wanted to leave the house. I thought you wanted to go for a walk. And she's just like, oh, I'm just not feeling good, which I could understand. Like, just, 3 hours ago, I wasn't feeling good either. So I was like, all right, mom, you know what? Go ahead and go. So my mom and my two brothers had left to football practice, and this has now made it where Cassandra and I are now home alone. Hi, my name is Angelique Robledo, and this is my part 2 to my survival story. When I was 18 years old, a friend came to my house and plotted to kill me and perform a C-section on my body to take my unborn child. She then set my house on fire to burn my body down with all of the evidence inside. Where we last left off was that my parents had now left us home alone and they were going to football practice. So once that did happen, I will say things got a little more strange. She had originally came over because she had baby shower gifts that she wanted to give me. So we went kind of like straight into that. She was like, oh yeah, I have these gifts. And so it made us like remember like, oh yeah, this is why you came over. So she had taken a chair, put in the middle of my kitchen, and told me to turn around and close my eyes and sit in the chair, which yeah, I thought was very strange. But she would come and like drop a present in my lap, and I would unwrap it, and then I would like be like, oh, thank you. And then she would keep on doing it like over and over again until all the presents were gone. Now, one thing that I want to explain about these gifts is that they were basically one of everything. Like there was a pair of socks, a onesie, a blanket, and like a receiving blanket. I can't remember what else there was, but it was all one of everything, and everything reeked like cologne. Like it literally smelled like a man had taken it and like rubbed it all over himself. But I'm not rude. My mom did not teach me to like, be rude or think that I'm better than anybody. So I just kept saying thank you, and I was very, I don't know what the wording is. I was happy for the gifts. She then pulled out like this baby carrier, more like a baby wearing product. Back then we didn't really have too many options, so it was just like a generic brand. But I do remember her pulling that out and giving that to me, and at that point I felt a little awkward because those were a lot of money. We didn't have a lot of money, so I was like, how did she get this for me? So I felt really guilty about it, and I was like, I can't accept this. And this is like where she kind of told me that she felt like she had a special bond with me, that I've been nothing but nice to her, and she knows that sometimes that she could be overbearing. And so it kind of reassured me that like, okay, she knows that she can be overbearing sometimes. She knows that this is like, she accepts me, and she very much is thankful to have me as a friend. So it started to make me feel a little bit better. Like maybe all those moments that I asked my mom if she was weird, maybe they were just me second guessing everything, or maybe just being like getting inside my own head. But But then she had one last gift that she wanted to give me. She stated that this gift she wanted to show me in the dark, because it was some type of like light that she had customly made for Ryland. So she was like, can we go to your room? Because it was dark in there. So we did. We went to my room. She closed the door, turned the lights off, and told me to stand like over like near my closet and just like to basically turn around and close my eyes. And so I'm like, okay, well, here we go again. She's gonna try to drop the gift in my, my lap, but I'm not sitting this time. So I'm standing there and everything's normal. I mean, like when I say normal, like I feel normal. But then all of a sudden, as like seconds go by, I start to get these weird thoughts. They weren't even just like thoughts. It was almost like somebody was talking to me and telling me that I was about to be stabbed. And I kept trying to shrug it off, and I kept trying to be like, oh, like not, maybe not listen, but it just kept getting louder and louder. And then I started like to have these conversations in my own head. And I was like, well, why would somebody stab you? Like, why would she specifically do that? Like, nothing was making sense as to why I was feeling this way. So
at least you reacted to it, because some people would just be like, oh, I'm tripping, because it makes sometimes, because you be thinking like you're crazy. Like I tell you, sometimes I be praying and God will tell me something, and I'm praying hard and I'm like, am I tripping? And it happens. You know what I'm saying? Like when my baby daddy slept with my friend, my baby daddy number one slept with my friend, something kept telling me, yo, Tasha, call your baby daddy, call that girl, call your baby daddy, like back to back to back to back, baby. And when I got that confirmation, I said, ain't daddy. Well, you told me and I didn't listen. And something told me, like I was supposed to go sleep over that day. And I kept saying, Tasha, go over there. I said, I'm really tired. And my baby daddy called me that day too, like, you good? You not coming over? Da, da, da. And then my friend called me too, like, oh, you not going over this house? You're not going over this house? I said, nah, girl, because she used to chill there too, because she used to mess with my baby daddy's boy. Oh yeah, okay. And my baby daddy's boy used to live in the house, and his girl, we were all cool with his girl too, and she was messing with both of them. Baby, don't worry about it. And mind you, this was my ace skillet. You know what I'm saying? And then the dude that she's messing with ended up calling me and telling me, yo, Tasha, Slut Bucket is sleeping with your baby daddy. Baby Tasha. I can't say what happened, but the moral of the story. You know what I'm saying? But, and I felt it, yo. And I kept saying it. I said, yo. And I forgot what girl I was cool with. I was like, that's so crazy. Wasn't I tell you? Like, I have a feeling something's wrong since this morning. I don't listen.
I ended up taking my phone. I put my mom's phone number in my phone. It's a flip phone. And then I put it to my chest. And I'm sitting there with my finger on the call button. And I don't even know why I'm doing that. It's just because of the strange thoughts that I'm having. I want to say maybe a minute has gone by and I'm like, Cassandra, like, have you found the gift yet? And she's like, oh, I'm still looking. I'm trying to put it together. So because I'm so nervous and because my back is turned to her, I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to turn around and sit on my bed. So like the way I was, like if I was facing you guys, my bed is on this side. So like I turned like this and sat down. And so now I'm sitting where I can kind of see her. Again, it's dark. I can't really see too much, but I can see just a little bit. And she didn't like that. So she ended up being like, okay, well, I'm going to get onto the bed and go behind you. And I was like, wow, like this girl really likes to give gifts, just dropping them in people's laps. Like, sorry, I made a horrible joke. It's not even funny. But she ends up getting up behind me, and this has made me feel so uneasy. Like, I don't feel good. Like, all those feelings that I'm feeling are now, like, they're there. Like, they're out in the open. I can't stop the feelings that I'm feeling. I can't stop all the thoughts in my head. And she ends up putting her hand on my shoulder, and she leans me forward. And it almost feels like she's pressing to my back, but I'm not positive on what I'm feeling. And she starts to count. She goes, 1, 2. And right when she says 3, something inside of my head says, get up. So I literally stand up as fast as I can, and I run to my door and I turn the light on. When I turn the light on, she's putting something back into her bag. Now, the news station says that I saw metal objects. I did not. I did not see anything. It was so dark in that room that I could not see anything, even if I wanted to. So I don't know what she's putting back into her bag. I just know that something's being put back in. And as soon as that happened, literally immediately once I asked her what was going on, her phone rang. And then she started talking to somebody in Spanish. I did forget to mention this in part 1.
What is going on? So they probably had a time frame. The dude's probably outside, and like, this is insane. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Why? Yo, it's crazy.
It actually is very important that the whole time that I've ever known her, she supposedly has like some type of husband that she's married to somebody. She's 18 years old, a dropout in high school, and she got married to like her high school sweetheart. And this is whose baby she's carrying. And every time that he called, she would talk to him only in Spanish. And so like she would literally, like, once she realized that my mom understood Spanish, she would leave the room to go have these like conversations. Now I know you're probably wondering, like, why do we need to know that? You need to know that for later on. So just keep that little piece of information inside your head. So she's talking to someone in Spanish, and it does distract me because I'm like, what just happened? So I hear her talking, I'm staring at her, and then I get up and I walk the opposite direction and go into the kitchen. And at this point, it's not like I'm trying to forget what happened. It's more of like I'm extremely ADHD, so I process things a different way. So at this point, I'm sitting at the table, I'm cutting my nails, and I have nail clippers out and like nail polish. I think at some point we were supposed to do our nails. So I'm doing that, and I'm just trying to replay the moments in my head.
That's me. Like, I be telling people I self-diagnose myself with ADHD because I have to really reprocess. I gotta really think about what's going on. Like, did this really happen? Am I tripping? Am I going crazy? Like, I'm that type of person. I gotta replay a lot of things. Like, okay, why would they do this? Nah, Tasha, you're tripping. Nah. Like, because that's scary. Like, that's crazy. Who would think that? Like, am I tripping? Like, and I'm the type of person, at least she's clipping. I'll talk to myself like, you bugging? You tripping? What you think just happened? Nah, Tasha, you bugging. Nah, you tripping. Like, for real. I be having a whole conversation
in my head of what just happened. I'm trying to see, like, am I crazy? Like, did this really just happen? Like, it all seems too, like, it all just seems very, very weird, but also like unreal. So I was trying to talk myself out of it and just talk myself out of what just freaking happened. So then I'm sitting there, I'm clipping my nails, and she comes back and she's a little upset. And I'm like, what's going on? And she was like, well, Edwin's coming down and I have nothing to wear. He didn't tell me he wanted to take me to dinner. And she's just like distraught right now about how she has nothing to wear. I am too scared to bring up what happened in the room. At this point, I've watched way too much like true crime. I've watched way too much SVU to know that you don't let the killers know that you know you're about to die. So I'm just like kind of like trying to be extra nice. I'm also trying to feel out what just happened and to see how much further this is going to go, which may not be smart, but it's what I'm doing. So I tell her she can borrow something of mine. I'm like, just go ahead and go in my room and go try something on. And so she does. She goes in there, she tries something on, she comes out, I look at it, I say, you can have it. Like, it fits you perfectly, you're fine. You can have that and you can wear that to dinner when you go see Edwin. But when I go into the room, something smells weird. It almost smells like something's burning inside of my room. Now, before her going into the room, I did light a candle. I lit a candle. There was no specific reason as to why I lit the candle. I just lit the candle. Do you know, like when you just kind of go around your house and you start lighting your candles to make your house smell good? That's basically what I did. And the candle was out. It was like a little teacup candle, and it had like the incense, like that, like make it the whole room smell. Well, the candle was out, which was super weird. I literally had lit that thing maybe 5 minutes prior. So I asked her about it. I said, well, why is the candle out? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, but why does it smell like smoke? So then I started searching my room. I looked in my closet, I looked in my dresser, I looked under my bed. I looked everywhere and I could not find anything. But I'm not stupid. So I actually am like, I have a theory. I have a theory that something's going on in my room. And I don't know why, but this is my theory. So I go and I take another candle and I go light it again. I take the old one, throw it away, go in there, grab a new one, light it and put it back in. And it's almost like a test to try to see what's gonna happen next. My name is Angelique Robledo, and when I was 18 years old, a friend came to my house, plotted to kill me and perform a C-section on my body to take my unborn child. She then set my house on fire to burn my body with all of the evidence. Diabolical, especially for an 18-year-old. All jokes aside, I was fully invested and was going to try to give you guys like all the parts. But I'm going to be completely honest. I tell my story a lot because I do a lot of podcasts. I'm in the middle of doing a documentary. It's exhausting. I love to tell my story because I do feel like my story shows everybody what intuition can do.
But that's kind of trauma too. Like, it's like you're reliving it and reliving it and reliving it and reliving it, you know? And sometimes when you keep telling stories, you start remembering little parts. Like, oh yeah, and this happened. Oh yeah, and that happened. You know what I'm saying? That's traumatizing. To keep reliving that, like, you know what I'm saying? And then you start thinking like, yo, the signs was there. It's like you start tripping yourself. Like, the signs was there, and what if I did this different? Or what if I did that different? Like, that's traumatizing.
Everybody what intuition can do. It helps other young vulnerable mothers who, like myself, understand that fetal abduction is a crime that it is now more common. And unfortunately, the victims of this crime, 9 out of 10 times, the mom doesn't make it and or the baby. And so I just feel like I have a platform, I have a following, and I try to share my story not only for myself and my son, but for the ones that are not here to be able to tell their own story to you. But what I have done is, on the very top, I have a playlist. I found the story times that I did, my best story time where I'm extremely detailed. I have so many different parts. I go over the fire, I go over with a plot twist, I go over the Miranda rights, I go over what it's like going to sentencing, what it's like when she got released. I go over, I think I maybe already said Dr. Phil. I kind of go over a lot of things.
Well, if you guys want to check it out and go through more of the details, you guys can check her page out. You know me, I just do the overview of the story time, and then you guys can follow up if you guys want to follow up, because this is insane.
A lot of things, but I do promise you, if you listen to the playlist, it will answer a lot of your questions. If you do have any questions after that, come back to this post and I'll do a story reply for any questions that I did not answer. I know that TikTok is now getting banned and it's going away. I am doing a documentary. I do have a podcast that just got released a couple of days ago by Betrayal. It does, I really do like this podcast. I really think that they gave me the open range to kind of talk about my story and to give different scenarios and situations that I believe in. So if you guys do have a chance, follow me on the gram. Is that what it's called? The gram? I don't know. I heard my son say that, so I'm just going to pretend like I'm cool. Okay, I'm going to stop now, but you guys have been great. Thank you. Let me know what you guys think after hearing my story. Good morning. So I'm going to go ahead and play a clip just to answer everybody's questions. Everybody kind of wants to know, why did she do this? So I'm going to play a clip. This is going to be part that was in the ID channel. So there's going to be like dramatic music in the very beginning, but then it's going to go into me in my car where I'm video recording the tapes that I got from the police station in 2020 with her confession. Actually, before I get started, I am going to put a big trigger warning because it is a little disturbing what you're going to be hearing. So, trigger warning.
Cassandra down and question her. At first, she denies everything.
I didn't do nothing.
No.
You want the truth.
I want the truth.
You want the truth.
Yes.
I'm telling you the truth. I was just gonna stab her. Stab her a few times and that's it. And hoping like I could take the baby. I didn't want to kill him, but if that's what it was gonna take, like I guess I was gonna have to. Like, I had specifically told, I was like, there's this girl, like, but I don't know her.
How did you decide on Angelique?
I didn't. I was like, there's a girl. I was like, I don't know her.
I know, but what I'm trying to figure out.
Because he said it would be perfect. He said
you didn't live it. You and Angelique didn't go to school together.
We didn't
You didn't know her or anything like that. How did you get to know her?
Hannah.
Okay. Who is Hannah?
Hannah's this girl that I met out here.
Okay. So you were living out here all this time that you were going back and forth to Chandler, being there, whatever you were to them. Okay? So you met Hannah, and Hannah introduced, and then what?
He was like, you can do this, and I had told him. He was like, they can't. I was like, you can't. He was like, yes, you can. He was like, yes, you can. It's not that hard. I was like, yes, it is.
What did he tell you to do to her?
He's like, hit her upside the head or something. He's like, hit her upside the head. He's like, stab her eyeball. He's like, it's not that hard.
How much money were you guys going to get for bringing a baby down to Mexico? Because you were going to get something for it. You ain't going to do that for free.
He was gonna get money, but he
How
was
much?
also gonna sell over there.
How much?
I don't know. Usually when when he said he was gonna go to Mexico and we were gonna go to Mexico, he said he was gonna go sell a few kilos down there. And he said he approximately said he was gonna get 5,000 for the kilos and then an extra 6 on the side.
Okay.
But he didn't tell me what the extra 6 were for.
I'm not worried about the kilos.
No, I know, but I'm
Let's not
saying.
worry about the kilos.
Okay, but I'm saying he said.
I feel like sometimes when they do interrogation and y'all keep talking and talking, y'all kind of is distracting her. She was talking. Just shut up and let her talk. I'm not saying what, but how much? Not, stuff like that for me. Like if I was getting interrogated, I would shut down. I'm finished talking now. You're gonna put me in the jail. Because like when y'all keep doing that, I don't know. I feel like that don't break me down. I would just look at y'all like, first of all, stop yelling at me. I'm telling you, shut up. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of distracting because now it's kind of making her like, she's kind of sidetracking. Like, if you just let her talk, because she's already under pressure. She already knows she got caught. So she's going to talk regardless. So, you know what I'm saying? Y'all just yelling and yelling and yelling. It's not, I don't know. Sometimes I don't be getting the interrogation because I'm like, what are you yelling at? She's talking. How much? How much? How much? All right. Calm down. Relax. I want my man relax. I was talking, but now I don't want to talk no more. So let's just go. Let's just walk. We forget it. It's the conversation's done.
But I'm saying he said he was going to get an extra 6. He didn't tell me what it was for.
But you were just going to stab this girl, steal her baby, and go down to Mexico and hand it over to somebody for absolutely nothing, and then you were to come back up to the Arizona
I wasn't gonna go.
and live your happy little life.
No, I was going to stay in Mexico. I was going to stay in Mexico.
Cassandra, you was gonna get paid for that.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know you were.
I know that.
We know that.
From him.
How much?
How much?
It wasn't.
How much?
No, it wasn't.
How much?
It's not like that.
What is it like then?
And I think that's why sometimes they don't get, sometimes different cultures are different ways. There's people that the man does everything and they make the woman like, all right, this is for us. We're doing it for us. So they'll probably keep yelling at her how much, and she's probably really telling the truth. Like, it's not for money. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it is for money, but he's doing it. Like some guys, you know, play it off like this is for us. We're doing it for us, and he's getting the money. You know what I'm saying? And she's probably just there, and he's probably making the dream like we're gonna live big, we're gonna get a house, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? She probably not even lying. She probably really telling you like, yo, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? This was the plan, and I'm riding for my man. Some women ride for their man, don't know nothing. They don't know nothing. Or the man is just banging them down and they're like really in love and they feel like they're being a ride or die for the man. You know what I'm saying? And the man says something like, if you really love me, you're going to do this for me. And da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? We can, you know how much money we can get? Da-da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? This is for us. She probably really telling the truth. You keep yelling, how much, how much, how much, how much, how much? And she don't know. She really probably like, well, he told me, this is what he told me, and you keep yelling at her, but she really telling you the truth. Like, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people that done some stuff that's for free. I know people that have scammer boyfriends that put hundreds and thousands of dollars and make the woman put the $100,000 and they end up giving the money to the man. And the man's like, all right, I'm going to flip it. And then they end up in jail.
It's not like that. He was gonna provide.
Provide what?
Good morning. I'm going to take some time to answer some questions since a lot of my videos are going viral. If you don't know me, my name is Angelique Robledo, and when I was 18 years old, my friend came to my house and plotted to perform a C-section on my body to take my unborn child, and then she set my closet on fire to burn my house down with all the evidence. So I'm just going to answer like a lot of the most frequent questions that come on this video. I did post a TikTok that has her confession on it with her actually speaking, and in that confession, she talks about how they were going to sell my baby to somebody in Mexico. I guess you can make like a lot of money by taking a baby, like a newborn baby, and bringing them across the border. I'm not too sure the details of like how much that is or what happens, but that's the reason why I think she wanted to like get the baby for my stomach. Second most frequent question, the friend that introduced me to her. Her name is Hannah. Her and I are still friends. Till this day, you know, I know that she feels some type of guilt because who wouldn't? You know what I mean? Like, it's just natural to feel that way. But I have reassured her time and time. It's been 14 years, and I never once even questioned if she had anything to like do with it, if she was involved. I know she wasn't. I'm 100% positive. She's actually done like the ID channel with me, and I'm actually hoping that she's going to go ahead and be on the documentary that I'm going to be doing because she knew Cassandra. She knew her better than a lot of us. At one point, Cassandra even lived with her for like 2 weeks on her couch, and she had a baby. Like, Hannah had a 1-year-old who is actually my godson. Third question. Yes, I am Angela.
She had a 1-year-old. The baby's too big. I think they need a newborn. It has to be newborn. Because I feel like when it gets to a certain age, because I know they do that in a lot of countries, but it has to be a newborn. So I think maybe that's why she didn't take the other friend's baby.
I am Angelique, and this is my story. Arizona, this is the only case that has happened in Arizona so if you're hearing the story and you're like, hey, I remember the fire situation, I remember like the possible kidnapping to take over the border to Mexico, that's my story. Yes, a lot of us have similar stories like the ones that have been through fetal abduction, but mine is very unique. Next question. Yes, I was on Betrayal. That is the podcast that actually just released. I didn't even know it released until I posted my TikTok, and then everybody was coming to my video. I'm guessing from like how the algorithm works. Another question. No, I'm very sorry. I did not shoot a part 3, and I do want to explain the reason I didn't shoot a part 3 had nothing to do with clickbait. If I wanted more views or if I wanted to make money off of my TikToks, I would have been posting a bunch of videos and I would have tried to do the whole story time. Realistically, I put a lot of effort and time into my playlist. And when I was starting to tell the story again the other day, I wasn't giving my story justice. I was giving you guys a half-ass story. So that is why I stopped. It was not to draw you in. Everybody thought that I was like trying to get you guys to watch my documentary. We haven't even started shooting the documentary. So that's not what I'm trying to do. Another question, when she lifted her shirt up, how could I not tell that she wasn't 6 months pregnant or 5.5, 6 months? Well, to be completely honest, like she was 5'8", 5'9". She had bigger hips, bigger butt, and she had a pudge. And my mom told me that women just all carry differently. And to be completely honest, like I didn't start showing until I was 5.5 months pregnant. So,
me too. I didn't start showing both my kids till I was bigger. So I think even Jeremiah took a little while. I think a diet, I just exploded towards like 7 months. That's when my stomach really, but you could tell because I was skinny mini. But my son, it took a while for me to show with Jeremiah, like a while. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll see if you know me, you'll be like, oh, Tasha's pregnant. But if you don't, I can play it off. You know what I'm saying?
We were really young. I also had no idea what to look for. Lastly, I'm going to help you guys do the math. I was 18 when this happened. My son is now about to be 14. I am 32 years old. I know I look super young. I know people are like, hey, like you look like you're 18 right now. I promise you, I'm 32 years old. I am going to go live in just a moment to answer any questions that you guys have. If you have any other questions, just go ahead and drop it in a comment. If not, I'll see you guys on my live and we'll go ahead and answer your guys' questions. Thank you guys again for all the support.
Baby, you guys in these story times, yo, this is crazy. This took me like, what the hell? What is, yo, ma'am, I am so sorry. And even though, you know, this happened, but maybe you are a part of a testimony to help other people, and God's going to be rewarding you. Believe me, sometimes when we go through things and be like, why me? It's for a testimony. Your purpose is to help other people. And sometimes you go through things so you can be strong for other people. I am so sorry that happened to you. I am so sorry. And thank God you had a guardian angel, or, not everybody believe it, but God sent his angels because God had bigger plans for you. And I'm happy that you and your baby are safe, because a lot of people don't even make it through, and a lot of people don't listen to their intuition. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Go check her out so you can get more details, more information. You know, I always leave the information down in the description bar. Please check them out. I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe, baby. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.
DJ Skylar, DJ Steven.